There is something in his presence that makes you just go, okay. Like, at least he seems to know what he's doing, and it just allows people to relax. And I think that's a big thing, as you said about the press conference. He walks in, you're like, okay, I kind of trust you. I don't really know why, but I sort of trust you. And some people just have that presence, and it's amazing. And then you hear, oh, okay, he meditates. But also the prep that he does, I think he has to, in his world, he has to do a lot more prep than I would ever have to do in anything I do. But I think he's so prepared that he can just be fully present. I think for me, it's the clarity of communication and getting really, really clear on the ideas you're trying to put across. And, you know, whether you watch him in the All or Nothing documentary, or you see interviews with him or whatever, he has a real clarity of thought on what he's trying to say to you. I wonder sometimes whether it's a little bit too pre-planned, and sometimes I watch his teams and I'm like, is this kind of seeping it? Everything is so structured and thought through, and that's sometimes great. Does it leave a moment for serendipity and something to happen just naturally? But even that, I think he's kind of across. He did an interview with Steve Kerr, the basketball guy, and he's very he's got not got an answer for everything in the bad sense, but he's got he's got a philosophy on everything. Steve Kerr was very much like, here's this experience which taught me this lesson. And I think obviously he's still at the beginning of his coaching journey. I would love to see him in 20 or so years' time, having had all those brilliant and clearly working theories about coaching and stuff tested, and what he now thinks on the other side. But I think he has such a clarity of what he wants to do and a clarity of outcome. And when he achieves what he wants to achieve, that will also change him, and I'm sure as it does with everyone. I think maybe the only thing is I'd love to see him, a bit more of him. I think sometimes it is a bit of a front, but I get it. I understand why. And ultimately, until he wins something, it's going to be very hard to do that. But yeah, the clarity of communication is amazing. It's amazing. And as a player, you must just go, oh my God, you like, teach me. It's great.
Literally. Yeah. And I think, you know, he's, I guess, at the forefront of this generation that, you know, it was kind of when he was a player that the internet was really picking up, and he had access to everything. So even if you take Pep, for example, like him doing his coaching badges, there wasn't as much information as there is nowadays. So I think he's kind of one of the first in this new generation that is really picking up. And I think over the next 10 to 15 years, even players like, you know, look at Saka, for example, like the guy, I know guys who grew up with him, like he's been a genius from when he was young. Imagine that genius with that level of discipline, with everything he has access to, be it resources, money, access, resource. Yeah, like imagine what he's going to do with his life. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I think we're in for a new era, but another conversation for another day.
Yes, on our Arsenal podcast.